10 o'clock. We're 8 minutes late. It's 10:08.
Yeah.
But I've been up since I'm getting every day. I'm getting up early. I don't know what it is. I'm getting up like at 4:30, 5:30.
Yeah. And are you
And
a short sleeper or a long sleeper or in the morning?
well, I haven't been I've never really been a long sleeper. I've been like, I'd say probably 4 to 6 hours uh,
Yeah. Oh,
in my adult life, but
yeah. The
lately,
last time, yeah.
yes, like last night I went to bed at I think 1:30. I was working, and then I got up at maybe 4:45. So I don't
Ah.
know. I don't
And
know what's
because the
happening.
alarm went off, or you just
No,
were awake?
no, no, no. And the other night I went to bed, and I was taking some time for myself, and I was doing some alchemic stuff my
Yeah.
way, which means I had a few beers and a couple of whiskeys. And yeah, no, but I was working on the land. It was full moon, and I had this energetic experience in the field. I talked about it,
Yeah,
but I
it's
went to bed again
amazing.
like around 1:30 or 2, and I ended up waking up at 4:30, like 3 hours later, and I'm fresh as a daisy.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
seems like the hard times are a bit over. Eh? The wave of intense, of course,
I,
very intense dark energy that I've and a lot of people I heard have been going through the last week.
yeah, I think so. I'll read a couple of things that have come across my desk or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Is it dark energy? I think it is. You know, well, it's just what needs to be cleared.
Exactly, yes, and it can
Six,
be
it,
tough and
it's it,
hard and feeling,
yeah, it's
yes,
yeah,
it's not
it's
dark in a negative
yeah.
way. It's just a
But
transformation
here's
process.
the thing. Here's what I'm noticing is it's what needs to be cleared. It's in your face, okay, and you got two choices. And there's no right or wrong. I'm not getting in that. I'm not blaming or pointing fingers at anything or anyone, myself, anybody. It's just we're coming out of this conditioning and programming. So it's like it's in your face, and you can either project it or you
Yes,
can own it. And I think we're at a point now where we're no longer as unconscious of what it is or how to find it. It's obvious. It's more obvious to us what it is or what we need to do, or even just knowing something's wrong. Morgan always tells me the first step to elevation or expansion is an awareness that there's a problem. There's an imbalance.
yeah,
And
yeah,
we
yeah.
don't have to have like words or even a pattern presenting itself or being a loop that's presenting itself. We can actually just feel that energy and just say, this energy is not, use use a invocation or an affirmation to remove that or whatever the case is. But I think that's what it is, and I think people are responding to that. I think they're actually, to thine own self be true, to physician heal thyself. I think
Yes.
they're actually doing it now. It's not easy,
Oh no,
and
no.
there's some projecting, and I've done it. There's
Yeah.
a little bit of projecting, but the periods aren't as long, and we're a lot more forgiving and a lot quicker. And mostly that applies to ourselves, because if we apply it to ourselves, it's going to apply to everybody out there. We
Yeah.
haven't enrolled. We haven't enrolled the show out.
No.
Doesn't matter. They know who we are. So
Yeah, that's right. It was
welcome everybody
spontaneous.
to yeah, welcome everybody to Soul Speaks 5D. Let me just make sure I get that out. If these shows resonate with you, please share. Everyone's telling me they're not getting the notifications. I think the only reason they are is because people are sharing one time to their page or to one group. And thank you for that. Thank you for the continued love, support, contribution, so that we can keep doing this. We're 100% at this point, and not forever. We're 100% viewer supported. So we appreciate everything. And thank you all for participating. And hey, Hank, what's happening? How are you doing? What's going
Hi,
on?
Todd. Happy to see you. Feeling good. Had a very nice day. Wasn't expecting to be on today because I thought it was
Alchemic
tomorrow.
stuff. Oh, you did?
Yeah. But so I walked inside, I checked Facebook, and I saw, hey, 10 minutes or something, you're on. So that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's how it works.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And today I've been with a few people having a mushroom experience to deepen, to get more deepen into
Are
their
you on mushrooms
awareness.
right now?
Yeah, probably yes, because they must be still working. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, this
Yeah.
is perfect, man. This is absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
I don't really do anything anymore. I mean, I do, I'm not
Whiskey,
gonna,
beer,
I do a little bit of
your
whiskey
kind of
and beer
meditation.
and a little bit of weed if the weed's good, but I've done
Yeah.
all that stuff and I used to
Yeah.
I love doing mushrooms, so I can imagine, how you're feeling right now.
Yeah. Feeling
I
good.
love it. Yeah.
More in the moment, relaxed.
Yeah.
Not feeling the pressure, having to do something, and I could tune in very, very well with the people around me, and we had deep, nice talks,
Yeah.
conversations about feelings that usually are very difficult to talk about.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
really nice, really.
Well, what a
Uh,
great time to be having that type of fellowship. What a great time. This equinox and the super full moon that all hit. We talked just a week before it all was coming, and
yeah,
or 10 days, and wow, man, it's just like wow. I mean, I don't, God, I don't know what to say. I think we talked about it when we started this show today, which is these things are presenting themselves to us,
yeah, and then
and there's
you.
no way to deny it. And
No, no, no. People can
it,
try it, but then
yeah,
they get really fast hit in the face again by
yeah,
reality, because
yeah,
and the deepest traumas I see coming up with people, and because it becomes clear to them where their behavior is coming from,
yeah,
they can sort of transform it, but it's still a very painful process for them, because just the littlest rejection in the childhood, or an interpretation of a rejection, can create a whole life of triggering that feeling that it is unsafe, 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 because of a childhood event.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
that's
and
really
and yeah, and I've seen more than one person say, and I've been really, really posting a lot, because I've been led to during this period, which I haven't done in a long time. Uh, you know,
oh,
Posting a lot on Soulogy, so I'm looking at a lot of energy, and I'm seeing a lot of posts. But I've seen more than one person say, quite a few. I'm going to say at least three or four or five, and what they're saying is that in a different way than I've ever heard. They're saying, I did a lot of work on this subject. I did a lot of clearing here. I thought I cleared all this,
yeah. Mhm.
and I found out there was a deeper piece to it.
I thought I
And
was enlightened, and
yeah, yeah,
then you think you see, but it, yeah,
yeah.
well, it wasn't. I was not so much enlightened that I've seen it all. So yeah, and
here's a
maybe it goes on.
here's a comment from Charlotte Elise Jane Maverick. This Mercury retrograde in Pisces has been transformative and expansive, learning truth, then enlightenment and big manifestation. She says, hashtag ask, believe, receive. I absolutely,
Ask, believe, receive. Yeah,
yeah.
faith, surrender. Yeah.
And Joan Kirkendall says she trusts you more now because of the mushrooms.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
She's
Yeah. Yeah.
laughing. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I didn't make sure. So,
Yeah.
if for any of you
Right.
who are who just joined us, we were having a Soul Speaks 5D, and Hank has bravely come in here with magic mushrooms in his system.
Yeah. Totally unexpected, but it is also more of a truth medicine. Eh? People can speak more openly about things they usually.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Ayahuasca, mushrooms, clean marijuana. Um, whatever else is out there. I forget all that
Yeah,
stuff.
whatever.
And even some of the
Peyote,
synthetics, but
mescaline. Yeah, yes.
what's happened to me, and I don't even know. What's happened to me over, I don't even know how long this has been going on, but certainly over the last 4 weeks, I can't get, uh, I don't get affected by things that are mind altering, or if I smoke some weed, which I don't do very often, it just doesn't do anything. If I
Yes,
drink,
yes, yes, yes.
I could drink 3 beers and take 2 shots of whiskey, and I'm like going, okay, what's going on? It's like not even,
It
I
doesn't
mean,
affect
it's
the clearance.
no, it just
Yeah,
does. It's not, and I don't know, but I would think that everything's expanding. That everything's expanding. Our vibration is higher, and these are things that eliminated or reduced our blockages because we relaxed,
yeah,
and maybe we're, I don't know what's going on with that. So
yeah.
yeah,
I guess you're also much more relaxed than years back or something.
yeah,
So maybe it's also easier to cope with. And what
yeah,
I find out with things like alcohol, because it was when I took one glass, I immediately took another glass to stay. But now after one or two glasses, I don't even feel the
mhm,
need, or it doesn't add anything. Yeah, to my feeling of well-being. On the contrary, I would say it. Yeah,
exactly. And the
yes.
same's going on with food. You
Oh,
know, Another
yeah,
thing that I'm noticing too is that you know the debate is starting to die down. The I got to be right.
yeah,
The validation of my beliefs
yes,
by getting concurrence from other people.
yeah,
Everybody's on their own journey. One of the things that I think is going to come to light is if they were all made up of different lineages, and there's certain uh, life experiences or past or lineages that have certain characteristics.
oh,
You know,
sure, of course, yes.
and like there's been a lot of talk about this urine therapy. I respect everybody's
Which
experience.
therapy?
Urine therapy.
Urine therapy, drinking
Yeah,
your own morning
yeah,
urine.
urine therapy, right? And
Fresh,
and so
warm urine. Yeah,
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 fresh warm urine in the morning, and so I'm going, you know what? And this is not the human. This is just my soul saying that ain't for me. Okay. I don't even
yeah.
have to think about it. That's not where I come from. I come from this other place. And
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
identify
Yeah,
with
but
the Merlins and the Germains and the
yeah,
the alchemists and stuff. That's just me. I
yeah,
don't even
yeah.
think about it.
With
So
all respect for the people who do it, of course,
absolutely,
because some people, and it works, and it yeah,
and that's
exactly.
the point. That's the point. We're all moving to a place where probably all this stuff is going to fall away, you know, right? It's
Yeah,
just like I got a thing the other day, and it was telling me, okay, unconditional love cannot exist in the 3D. And I'm like, what does that mean? You know, well, it can't exist somewhere where people have boundaries. And I was
yes,
like,
yeah,
what
yeah,
does that mean? Well, if you think about it, if unconditional love is unconditional trust, at that higher dimension, the higher dimensions, we are moving around, floating around without boundaries. There is no fear. There is no walls to be put up. No one's going to infringe on anybody else. And I think that's what you're getting at. What I'm getting at is we're starting to see people live and let be.
yes,
Let
yes,
it
yes,
be.
yes, yes,
And
yes.
what you do is what you do, and that's your business. And that's just as vital, just as relevant as my own. If I need to go over to you and say, hey, you shouldn't do that, or hey, you need to do this, then it ain't about you. It's about me. Okay.
Yeah, and it
You know what
doesn't
I mean?
always work to do it like that in that approach. And yes, it's really then about most of the time a projection that you know better how they should do it, and they from their own lineage and experience think they also are doing it in the right way, and probably they are also. So
Well,
there's more room for
everybody is,
yeah,
right?
yeah, 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 yes,
Everybody is, right?
yeah,
Everybody showed up, first of all.
yeah.
So if
They are
you
here.
if you can't equalize, equate, integrate, see anybody on the face of this earth as not equal to you, right? Then it's on you. It ain't on them. It's
Yes,
on you.
exactly.
You
It's
know,
all
this is a
life,
time.
all from the same source. It's all
Yeah,
just a holy
yeah,
vibration that's all connected. So,
yeah,
and automatically, I think also because of the experience we have and the intense past lives, it's easier to feel compassion for,
yeah,
yeah, because it's a recognition of the same man or woman in the other person. So,
yeah.
yeah.
That's a very good point. You know, and I think this is what's happening right now. Judgment is being challenged. Opinion is being challenged. You know, truth is the truth, and the truth is going to rise to the top, and nobody here is walking on water.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people are having stuff presented to them at a deeper and deeper level. I know that they are because everyone's talking about it. And you brought up the word compassion. You know, I had another transmission in the last 2-3 days, and there was a time when I first woke up, 7 years ago, and I was like flying. You know, I was living on the streets, and I was like, every day was angels and devils, and all this stuff happening.
Yeah.
Well, a few months into it, I met a psychic, a lady, and we hung out for a little bit. And there was a lot of mutual soul work that was done, grid work, and that type of thing. So one day, I came out of the shower, and I came out of the bathroom, and they were on the couch. And this person who I'd spent 2-3 days with had a totally different look. Her, she was a very attractive woman.
Yeah.
Uh, she had transformed. Her face blew up. It was all splotchy and yellow like bile.
Yeah.
Uh, and her demeanor and her voice would sound like The Exorcist.
Wow.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it looked like
So
it also a
I
bit
was, yeah,
that
I was
was
just getting
healing.
into this thing, and I didn't really understand what was happening. I still don't understand fully what happened, but I did understand one thing. There was an energy present because I could smell it. All right. And this went on for 2-3 days. And I had conversations with this energy in a physical incarnation. Okay. Now, my point is that a couple, 2-3 days ago, I was taken to this word compassion. And I was taken to what I said earlier, and I was told, you've got to equalize yourself with everything and everyone. And I was shown my mother and my father and my sisters and my brothers and my ex and this and that and this. And then I was shown this being, this energy that I faced off with, that for all intents and purposes was, in my mind at the time, got to be the incarnation of the devil, basically.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
that person, but whatever energy was in
Yeah.
that person, right? So the universe said to me, what are you going to do with this one? What are you equal with this one? And I'm not talking about the human. I'm talking about the energy that was representing itself through the human, right?
Yes.
So just imagine there wasn't even a human involved. It was just a dark entity that came face to face with me, which has happened many times.
Yeah.
But this was the wildest one. This was the most beastly. This was the extreme I'd ever seen with my physical eyes. And I said, I have compassion. I have compassion for that being, and I wrap my arms around that being, and that was
Yeah.
this is just a story, an anecdote that I'm telling you, but that was an incredible experience for me 2 days ago.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah,
Yes. And did it transform with you embracing it, taking it
it
closer? Because
how does all that work? Was that me I was looking at? Was that me as I was going through this exercise hugging me? I don't know
yeah,
how it works, but oneness is oneness.
one. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So
Exactly.
there are no exceptions. And another thing I've learned in my journey is whenever we throw absolutes down, oh, it's got to be this way, she's that way, he's this,
Yes. Yeah. That's
the
also.
universe works this way, God's name has to be Jesus, there isn't galactics, they're fallen angels, you're a fallen angel, I'm not a fallen angel. whatever the fucking case is, excuse my French, the bottom line is there are no absolutes in this universe. Everything
No.
has to be open. Every
Yes.
point, the light side of thing has to be infinitely open. The dark side of thing has to be infinitely open. If you or I or anyone else thinks that we have some type of information or level up that others don't have, we're the ones that are planting the line of separation. You know, I mean,
Yes. 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 We
the
experience it like
oneness
that.
is oneness.
Yeah,
Oneness is
and everything is in all of us. Everyone is in all of us, and we are in all of everyone because we were there from the beginning. And in the end, there is no beginning and an end, but it's all interconnected, and we're all part of it. And it could be because there is no time that we already have lived many lives, past life, future lives, but also the life of other people, and that we have to experience all of that
yeah,
to get more awareness, to get more compassion and more understanding for people in situations. Because when we haven't experienced it, it's hard to understand it. So
yeah,
that is. But then to know that we have to, into a certain kind, be aware of the darker sides or the lost sides or the sides of pain to understand them. I
yeah.
think.
Here's a great comment from Susan Marie. She's coming back on this month. I got to get back with her. And everyone that's got messages to me, and there's got to be about 50 or 60 I've talked to, I'm getting to you as quick as I can. I'm going to try to do some of it this afternoon. She says oneness is both light and dark, and unification
Yeah.
all teaches us, all is us. It's all choosing, not fear. And then somebody else had a comment in here. Delia Flores says this is super shroom talk.
Yeah.
Angie Parker, may your water flow, love effortlessly, celebrating your presence. Yeah, man. Okay, so you're over there hanging out with your friends and sharing this plant medicine,
Yeah.
and and uh, and one of the things that's been going on too is what we would refer to as supernatural events.
Oh,
Uh,
yes.
my friends and I saw a portal again the other day, a lot like the one Morgan and I saw earlier this year.
Wow.
It was a rectangle. Uh, I went out to the field on full moon night, and I was approached by this energy that I could see. There was like a few of them. It started to swirl around me like a vortex, and I surrendered as much as I could, and then I saw it come out of my heart. I don't know if it was coming into my heart or it looked like it was coming out of my heart, and I was creating the whole thing. So
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
these things that are happening. We're going to have a lady on next Sunday. Here she is, right here. She just sent me a note because I had to reschedule. Victoria Lilligenquist, who actually films on video starships.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Some people can call them in, and have contact with them. But I didn't know they could also get them on camera. Of
She's
course, it
got
happens, and I've seen things. But wow.
Yeah, she's got a
Yes.
whole website on it. She's got a number of videos, and you're right. Some things happen to some people.
Yeah.
I
Interesting.
remember seeing on YouTube, when I was researching 2, 3 years ago, there was a lady in England who, since the early '90s, now this was primarily, I think, maybe even all photographs, but she would take photographs, and they would just appear in the photographs.
Just random
So
photographs, and then
yeah,
they
she would
appeared
just
on
be
the.
first like taking a normal photograph of something, then see something in the background. So she started actually taking more and more. So for some reason, she carried a frequency of the ability for them to show up.
Yes. Yeah.
I was on the road about a year ago, driving through Tennessee, and and I sent a picture of the road to Morgan and a picture of my face, two pictures, right? And
Oh,
I said,
yes. Yeah.
hey, what are you doing? And then she said, what is that thing in the air on the road? And I blew it up, and it was a starship. Now I didn't see it
Wow.
with my eyes, but she had the ability to see it. And so, I mean,
Yeah.
some people have certain frequencies they attract things, and some attract other
Yes.
things, right?
Yeah, I never saw a UFO, but last year I was driving in the car and suddenly green lights appeared. Poof, and my brain had to get used to what it saw because it wasn't used to seeing this because it was something else. So I was seeing my brain sort of getting it together, and I said to Annette, but she was with a telephone. I said, "Film it. What is that?" Huh? She looked, huh? And but it moved more in a more like they were moving together, and they went really fast to the horizon, and and they went, yeah, out of sight. But
Yeah,
before she could film them, they were already gone. And I've seen planes and things like that in the sky, but not never moving like that. It was really
yeah.
strange. Maybe it's from the a new sort of machine from the government or something, or from
I
the
don't know.
army. I don't know, but it
I don't
was
know.
really strange. Yeah.
I've seen quite a few in the last. I've seen quite a few in the last 2 years. You know,
Yeah.
and been in the presence of other people. Uh, Morgan was with me and a couple of friends in Utah. We saw one sitting on the driveway, and it couldn't have been more than, it couldn't have been. It was maybe like a 6, 7 story building height. Maybe out a football field away. Uh, but yeah, man, and we talked about this yesterday on the show with Sean Christopher. He's a big proponent of secret space program. He
Oh yeah.
has a story where he was pulled into it. He's a proponent of the financial reset and that type of thing. And I'm like, you know what? I don't believe any of this stuff. I mean, not that I don't trust it, but I don't
Yeah.
trust it. So
No, you just
if tomorrow there's 1,000 spaceships in the sky, I'm not going to say, unless my heart absolutely aligns and just resonates, I'm not going to say, okay, that's our star family. I don't give a damn if the whole world says that's our star family. I'm still going to say, how do we know?
yes,
How do
yes,
I
yes.
know? Because it's just this is what this whole trip's about. The whole trip's about us taking responsibility for ourselves, uh,
Yeah.
you know, uh,
Yes.
in everything that we do, and fully embracing the power that we are actually creating this thing.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, and what I also see, by the way, it's easy with mushrooms to get contact with other entities and also, yeah, alien beings. Some people can do that really good.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's also difficult because they can also come from lower energies. And I've experienced that also with
I
someone
have too.
yeah,
I
with
have too.
someone who the energy said you have to go gambling and then you win this and this. And he won first. So it is really, but then it started to play with this guy, and did other things, and they went wrong, and they were sort of really driving him nuts.
Yeah,
And I think it's a part of the ego that where he allows it to happen because it was said to him he was yeah, God, and things like that. And of course, we all are in a sense because everyone has the God within him or her. But that was more from an ego place, and yeah, that's also strange to try to see what is real and what is not real. And this person, it was impossible to communicate with him at a certain level. You couldn't not reach him anymore.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
that's
that
also
that experience that I had over a weekend, and then on another day that I was telling you about with the lady that morphed into literally a demon.
yeah, 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 yeah.
That was when I first woke up, and at the time, the way the universe was speaking to me or presenting stuff to me was through 6 biblical prophets, Jesus and Mary Magdalene, right?
Oh wow, yeah,
And
that's the
so,
other half of
so I,
Jesus.
yeah, the way I could, that's all I could handle, I guess, at the time. And so, not to take anything away from those consciousnesses or essences, but when that happened, they were communicating with me, and they said, "This is about ego training." I'm like, what the hell's going on here? I mean,
Oh
I got a
yes, yes,
crucifix.
yes,
I'm
yes.
holding up a crucifix saying, I'm the light, you know. But they said it's ego training. They said in so many words, this is an extreme example of the effect that the ego can have on an individual. So
Yeah.
later on,
Yes, 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 yes.
when I got spun
So
out of
true.
that situation, I was daily communing with these 6 ascended masters, right? And I made a call to a friend of mine. I'm like, dude, come pick me up. And we jumped in his van and I'm driving down the road. I mean, I'm in the passenger seat, and this black bird like came across my vision right in front of the van window.
The cross.
And it was a message like chaos, you know, like a void, like a black void, like abyss, like unknown, like scary, like eerie, right?
Yeah.
And the next thing I know, I saw the 6 ascended masters, and the main one that I talked to kind of like change his face.
Oh, so
And
he was not who he really was, or was he just showing you something?
well, at the time, well, that's it. See, at the time, I said to myself, well, that's Isaiah. And is he not real? Later on, I come to understand, or was, you know, was he faking me out? Later on, I came to understand they're all me. They
Yeah,
were all me. So he was showing
like a
me something.
typical.
He was showing me never take your eye off the ball. Never put your trust in anything external. What did Buddha say? Buddha said, listen, you know, listen to yourself. Don't even listen to me. You listen to yourself, right? So it was that kind of lesson. I didn't understand that I embodied and everything I'm experiencing was me at the time, but now I understand that was my higher self, a face of the universe telling me, don't take your eye off the ball. And I'll tell you one last thing, and then I'll hand it back over to you. I had a conversation when I was in Houston still, living in the original studio, and I would walk the cemetery every night and and
Yeah,
and, integrate with dark, integrate with light, transforms. This is my own little
yeah,
world.
very interesting.
So
Left
one night,
hemisphere
the Mother
also.
Mary came in, right?
Okay.
And she was with me for like a week, and she was telling me all this stuff, you know. And
Yeah,
so one night she says to me, who do you trust on that side of the veil? And I said, myself, me. And she said, who do you trust when you bring in this side of the veil? I said, me. She said, right answer.
yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
it was all about be disempowered. You can disempower yourself to the light. You can disempower yourself to what we call the dark.
Yeah, and then you put your responsibility outside yourself,
Yeah.
and then in fact we are then enslaving ourselves in a I don't know if it's the right word, to that light or to that dark power, and then we are not living our truth, but the truth of another maybe force that is yeah, taking things over. And that's why it's always good to stay sort of in charge of those energies, to be aware of them from this point of inner silence and rest and calmness and peace.
Yeah.
But that's where it gets tricky, because the world presents situations where it seems tempting to give one side more power than the other side, and then things can go out of run out of hand, and then an ego identity is built really fast.
That's what I mean. I think the ego, which to me is the flip side of the soul, same coin, other side of the coin. You know, it's
Yeah,
I call it the universe's great equalizer. It's a
yeah,
teacher. You know, it's been a lot of things to us, but I think that's what's happening. I think the ego is being extremely challenged right now, and I think what's happening
oh
is
yeah,
that divide that's occurred, which is really in us, is
yeah,
is one of two things. You're either having extreme projection, no matter how
incredible.
subtle it looks
Yes,
like, or
it's a crazy
you're
see.
having the opposite. And quite frankly, we're probably having both. We're probably having
Yeah,
both like yo-yo, you know.
yes,
Even though the projection may be nothing but our thoughts, if we verbalize it or take an action to reinforce it, is not the point. The point is the energy of projection, even if it's for a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, takes us to a place that we can only, yo-yo back up to the other side,
Yes.
unless we're just totally, totally lost. Which,
Yeah, and that's why it's so important, like you said, when you put a rule on it or a label it, and it's getting dogmatic, and then the one side can become the other side by just that, by just sticking onto that,
other side.
because it's always
It's the other-
moving.
that's the whole point, right? It
Yeah,
is
yeah,
the
yeah,
other side. That's that paradoxical mystery of the universe,
yeah,
which is,
yeah.
what are we doing? We're integrating polarities.
Yes,
So
the
it is.
duality.
What
We
does that mean?
transcend
That means
duality.
it
We have to see the whole, and then we can understand it that they are complementary and not also, yeah, the polarities. And from the inner vortex, I saw the the energies have to spiral outside, and that can only happen when they are contrasting, because otherwise it cannot expand. So that's maybe because how the infinity of yeah, the opposites, light and darkness, those things stretch all the way out, and then they form a sort of a circle, but it's all inside all of us because we are all one, and we have
yeah,
the responsibility and the freedom to choose, and that can only come from a really awakened awareness, to make the right choice and choose from the place of love and trust and honesty.
yeah.
I think,
Well,
yeah.
I think that's more in our face, though. That's what I'm saying
Yes,
too,
yeah, what
right?
you're
So,
saying,
so,
yes.
so you have to love the highest angel in your heart, so to speak, as
But
much as
yeah,
you love the darkest demon or dread or whatever
exactly,
that you
because
can
yeah,
that you can muster up, because that they're one and the same.
yeah, and he
Um,
needs love the most, and yeah, it's dangerous to give them all the love to the one that needs to be saved the most, because the other one needs it too, and but then the balance can be found. Yeah, that's also in the trip. I was sort of the vision of the devil, and and then what I was saying, he said, "Do you think you can resist all temptations?" And I said, I was thinking, well, probably not. And then I got seen a sort of temptation I never could resist, and that made me also sort of humble.
yeah,
And then I saw what was the devil, but it was also a sort of a polarity,
yeah,
and he was talking about the soul. I said, well, I see you need the soul more than I need it, so you can have it, but by giving it away, it only can expand. And the devil, when he has a soul, then he is not the devil anymore. So that
yeah,
was also an experience or a sort of transformation
yeah,
thing
yeah.
inside me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
There's this great video. I wish I could find it again. It comes up on my memories every year, and it's of a
okay.
black. It's of a wild black panther, beautiful black panther that lives in this. It's not really a zoo. It's more like a preserve. And
Yeah,
but the bottom line is it's caged. I mean, it's got a lot of. It can run around and everything, but it's fenced. Can't get out. And there's a video I saw 4 or 5 years ago about an animal whisperer, right? And
yeah,
so the workers at this preserve wouldn't go near this cat because it was mean, aggressive, nasty, right? This lady came and started talking to it and said basically understood that he felt like he was not respected, that he was royal, he was kingly, and
yeah,
and he felt like he was treated like a piece of crap.
yeah. And that's where the
So
anger
she,
also came
right.
from. When
So she started to tell him, "Hey, man, we love you. You're respected." And then they filmed all this, and the whole disposition, the daily disposition of this wild, beautiful Black Panther changed. and it became, it became peaceful. So,
Yeah,
you know,
because it
you know,
also
it,
became more aware of
yeah.
the impression it made, and
Hmm.
became more capable for compassion for the situation it was in, probably.
Yeah. Jason Estes put a post out, a very brave post a couple of days ago, talking about having been attacked,
Yeah,
people calling him a false prophet, the devil, cops knocking
that's
on
a
his
good sign
door.
when people are saying that, and certain
Exactly.
there's some good things going on, because
Yeah.
yeah, by
but he
saying
had,
it's a bad prophet, they say I'm the good one, but that's also proof that they are more wrong than mostly than good. Yeah.
yeah.
And
And
what was the police came at his door.
well, yeah. So there was like some extreme things happen. Like police came, somebody reported he was killing babies. I don't know. I don't know. Remember all the details. But my point is the gist. The gist of his post wasn't about all the things he'd gone through. The gist of the post was about what you say to other people, the energy of your words. I've always said, because we've had a lot of people attack us at Soulogy. Morgan attacked me. I don't really care, but when they attacked Morgan, it used to really piss me off.
Yeah,
And but I always would tell people would come to me and say, so and so said this and so said that. And I said, let me just ask you one question. Ask yourself, why would somebody tell you that? Why would somebody tell you some dirt about somebody else unless they were standing right there? And even then, you got to question, why would they tell you that? And so the gist of what his post was talking about was the responsibility that we have for our own power, the sole responsibility in what we say about other people, because that energy is real. That
oh
energy
yes,
is real.
and
If
it
I
can have
send
a very destructive
bad
effect.
stuff, bad energy towards you
Yeah,
in this realm at this point of the transition, you are going to be affected. I will be affected. Others will be affected. We know how
oh
this
yeah,
works. Okay,
yeah,
you cannot kill off energy. It keeps going in one form or another.
yeah.
So that's something I thought was a really good topic. He's going to be on in another week, and I'm anxious to
Yeah,
talk about
interesting
that. Yeah.
how he deals with it, and how he finds ways to cope with it and not let it affect him. Because especially when a lot of people are trying to influence on a negative way, it's very hard to resist, and it needs a
Yeah.
lot of inner work, so they don't get you really doubted and go to a level of anxiety
Yeah.
where the consciousness is shrinking and not able to see the whole picture anymore. Because,
Yeah.
and what I also see, what the trap is, that sometimes people, we have to be in the moment, but the ego sort of places us out of the moment, in the past, in the future, worrying about what we're doing, worrying about what is coming, and we're gonna lose this and that. And then that is also, when it can grow and it gets further and further from the moment, it is much more difficult to get people back into the moment when they lost themselves in that spiral of negativity. And it's
Yeah.
also very demonic, because there can come a sort of a resistance and anger and bitterness that tries to affect the people that try to get them back into the moment.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
I love this comment by Salomon Miharis. I've seen him. He's been around. Well, I've seen him around Soulogy for 3 or 4 years occasionally, even longer than that, I think. He says,
well,
"You do you. We don't have control over what others say or think, but you know what we do have the control on, how we
yeah,
respond
exactly, yeah,
to hate and those who don't vibe with us. You got this." Now,
yeah,
this has been my attitude, uh, to try to say nothing, a little or nothing. In fact, I'm at the point now where I don't want to say anything, because the more I talk, the more I F it up.
yeah,
The more I'm giving to that energy. So
yeah,
what I started doing, and this was back before, I think more. Well, it was a while back, because I would engage people in comments privately, And then I'm like, this is getting nowhere. So I just thought, well, wait a minute. If I just keep doing what I'm doing and don't look back, align my heart, put out a poem, align my heart, put out a video,
Exactly. Yeah.
do a show, and just keep going. And I've noticed that it all falls away. I
Yeah,
noticed
yeah,
that it
they
all
lose the
falls.
power over it because we feeded them with the reactions. And what I also think, yeah, it's to totally. Some people can talk out of pain, and then it's possible to try to communicate with them, and sometimes it can help, but it's very hard because then they are very resisting. But not from a place of arrogance, not talking to people that say something negative or criticize things
Mhm.
because it's always a way to learn things. But sometimes it is really better to let it go.
Yeah, it's better
Yeah,
to, shut the F up.
yeah,
Well, I mean, it's because we're really entering a space. We have entered a space, and that
yeah,
space is it's all or nothing.
yes,
The days of us saying, "Well, I'm only human," are over.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
all or nothing. Am I human? Yes, but that's only one part of me. But for me to have the out, always have the, well, I'm only human. Well, those days are over. We are divine humans,
yes,
multidimensional memories, multidimensional skills and abilities. They're coming to light, you know.
yeah.
More and more is happening every day. We know who we are, what we are, and we know the difference between projecting, because projection has what? What direction does projection go? It doesn't go inside, it
No, it goes
goes
outside
outside.
on the
So
things
we
we don't
know,
want to see on our inside. Sometimes that's what the ego does. It cannot see itself, only
yeah.
the projection of it outside. Yeah.
I still say that I'm looking forward to the day that each one of us knows every single thing about the other. And I know we're getting to that vibration, because how could you be in a place where there's no need for boundaries, where there's unconditional love and trust,
Yes.
without everything being known about everybody,
Yeah.
you
And that's
know?
also with the enlightenment. Every comes in the light of awareness, so everything comes known, and so there is no place for hidden corners anymore. So
No,
there are no walls anymore because
no,
the walls on the
there's no
energetic level don't exist. No,
there's no ceiling and there's no floor.
no.
I
Yes.
see Vera Ingeborg just came on. I love her, man.
Ah, yeah. Hi,
She
Veren. She
yeah,
had a
you know
hard
Vera.
time,
Yeah,
eh?
yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So she checked out of social media for 3 or 4 weeks, and then she came back and she wrote this post on the wake up experience, and it was that raw, real, authentic stuff, right?
Yeah,
And
really
and so
nice. Yeah,
you
really
have I
daring,
posted it on my page.
honest.
It's in Soulogy. I posted on my page, but you go through it, and she talks about losing her identity. Basically, she talks about almost like, what am I? What am I? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just go this whole explanation and the way she speaks, which is very organic. And at
yeah,
the very end, and I don't remember all the words but the energy of it. She said, like, what am I? I am joy. I am happiness. I am playful, and all those words, all those words intricately woven into that pure love, innocence, genuine,
yeah.
childlike
Beautiful.
wonder that we are, and such a uncomplicated explanation, or removing the complications to a very simple,
Yes.
profound truth. And that's where I think we're headed to, is because what all this other stuff is a distraction. It's
Yes,
it's
and
like we
creating the
talk.
division and the illusion of separation, and where the angst and the feelings of lack and fear come from. But the words he uses, it's like sort of flowers popping open, ready for the sun, very vulnerable. And that can also happen only in a space where people are aware of enjoying it, and in a space of inner bliss. So wonderful. Yeah, and I
Yeah,
think we really are going towards it. We are there already, and we're
yeah,
seeing more and more the sacredness of life and
yeah, yeah.
universe.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
yeah.
Yeah. And I like also the honesty of Vera Ingeborg, because she said she had some projects, she did a lot of time in it, and it didn't went the way she.
That was part of that. You read that then. You read what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah.
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 That
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was part of it. Yeah, that's a good. I'd highly recommend that
Yeah.
newsletter. That newsletter she's putting out,
Exactly. Yeah.
which is fast forward, or I don't know. I've got it on my email.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
fast forward. Yeah, 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 yeah.
fast
I
forward.
always see it really fast when I scan it, sort of scan it also, but then the
I
essence
tell
and the
you,
energy comes back.
her
Yeah.
partner Augusti was on about a week ago, and that was a
Oh
very
yes, I saw him. The DJ also.
yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I
that was a
didn't see
very
the show because
dude. You
it
gotta
was
watch
really
that
fast.
show. You gotta watch that show. It's the first time that I've seen him come out and really talk, and we used the metaphors of the music, and
Oh yes.
basically talking about that we're the remix. You know, we took the Akashic record, we
Yeah,
come in, we
exactly.
combined
Yes.
the experiential, and we put out this new good book, this new template, this new blueprint, and
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, we're the remix.
Wow, that's a
So
beautiful
we're the
thing
Jesus
because
remix and the Magdalene remix and the
yes.
Galactic remix and
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Beautiful. And we can go on endlessly with remixing, and it can all sound fresh and new and yeah, authentic. So that's wonderful. I always also liked, she said about her friend, he is the heart and I am the beat,
yeah,
or the other way around. I don't know exactly,
yeah,
but there's
yeah,
also that rhythm coming back
yeah,
into it. Nice. Yes.
yeah.
Beautiful.
All right, we're going to be back in 30 minutes with a special show with Matthew John, somebody new's never been on here before, and
Uh-huh.
that'll be
Interesting.
interesting. I love the ones where you don't know what you're getting into. Most of them, I don't know what I'm getting into. Even when I'm with you, I don't know what I'm getting into. Even though
Yeah.
I've probably done more shows with you than anybody else, but I never know what
Yeah.
I'm getting into. I mean, you just popped on magic mushrooms,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, you see, it
Yeah,
all goes automatically, and yeah,
you thought
it
it was
just taking
tomorrow.
some walls away. Yeah, I thought it was tomorrow. Yeah.
We might have to document and film an experience like that for people.
Yes.
A couple of years ago, a an ayahuasca group that was run by a friend of mine in Amsterdam uh,
Ah,
actually
Tim
uh,
or something
kind of
maybe.
joint ventured and paid Soulogy some very good money for me to do like a 20-30 minute presentation prior to the ayahuasca experience. And but so I did it on webcam, but privately. But I got to tell you that the energy that was coming from that group, as they were all sitting on their mats waiting for the medicine to begin to hit and so on, uh, I think they had done something beforehand, maybe mushrooms, and wait till it leveled. I don't really know, but the energy of it was incredible. So maybe we should document something like that. Maybe you can talk to some of your friends and we can put a camera on them.
Okay, yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I sometimes do the ceremony, so
Yeah.
then it can be nice if people can openly talk about their experience. And it's also
Well,
nice maybe to see how we can handle the blockages in people and try to break through them.
and I think too is to continue to offer as wide a diversity, you know, uh, of programming as possible to
Yeah,
expose people to anything and everything, because that's really where we're at with this. I mean, we're all of us. As the day goes by, we can't run and hide from anything, just because
no,
there's certain things that I've experienced and certain things that I will experience that I don't want to,
no.
right? That I don't wish to carry forward with me, but
Yeah,
I have to get to know every aspect of the universe, because that's
yeah,
getting to know
we have
every
to know.
aspect of
Yeah,
myself. You
yes,
know.
exactly. Yes.
All right, brother. I'll see you again in a couple of weeks. Something like
Okay, great. Looking forward to it.
See what kind of surprise you have for us.
Yeah. Very happy to see you again, Todd. Honored to be on your show.
Keep the Easter weekend open.
The Easter weekend.
I'll
Yes,
just
I
keep it
keep
in
it
mind
open.
when I talk to you about it.
Yes.
Okay. We'll
It's
see everybody
noted.
in 30 minutes. Thank you very much. You take care.
Thank you very much.
All right. Right on.
Bye bye.